In the heart of Normandy's rolling green fields, nestled among gentle hills and lavender-scented meadows, lay a small village called Beaulieu-sur-Rivière. It was a quiet place with stone cottages, terracotta rooftops, and narrow cobbled lanes where streams murmured softly between the gardens. In this village lived two brothers, 6 years apart in age but closer than any friends could ever be. Julian, the older one, was 14, tall and thin, with dark brown hair and sharp gray eyes that always seemed to search the horizon. His younger brother Emile was 8, with round cheeks, dirt-smudged knees, and a laugh that always echoed down the lane. Where Julien went, Emile followed, through fields, over fences, into every adventure. Most afternoons, once the school books were closed and chores done, they would slip away into the open countryside. There, among the wild daisies and wind-swept grass, they chased each other, dreamed up missions, and imagined themselves as knights, explorers, and inventors. That day, the air was sweet and warm. The sun spread gold across the meadows, and bees danced lazily around the purple blossoms. Julian sprinted ahead through the grass and called over his shoulder, "Bet you can't catch me, slowpoke," Emile shouted back, breathless but determined. "If I catch you, you owe me an ice cream." But then the laughter stopped. A sudden shout, a thud, splash. Julian had disappeared. Emile rushed forward, heart pounding, and froze. Hidden beneath a cluster of overgrown weeds was the moss-covered rim of an old stone well. The ground had given way under Julian's feet. Now he was trapped below, flailing in murky water. "Help! I can't keep my head up!" Julian's voice echoed, raw with fear. Emile stood frozen. For a long, terrified second, he didn't move. The village was too far. No one would hear them in time. No adult to run for. Just him, just his brother, sinking. And then he saw it. A rusted metal pail near a crumbling shed, an old rope coiled next to it, perhaps once used by a shepherd. Without thinking, Emile grabbed the rope, tied it tight to the pail, and dropped it down into the well. "Grab it! Hold on tight!" Julian latched onto the bucket, and the real test began. Emile pulled. The rope bit into his small hands. His arms trembled under the weight. The grass gave way beneath his feet, but he dug in harder. His legs shook. Sweat ran down his face. He whispered to himself again and again, "Don't let go. Don't let go." The rope slipped once, nearly too far, but Emile caught it again just in time. Inch by inch, with a body not built for such strength, but with a heart that had already decided, he pulled his brother from the mouth of the well. When Julian's hands finally grasped the rim, Emile let out a sound between a sob and a laugh, fell back onto the earth, and watched as his soaking wet brother clambered out beside him. They lay there, side by side in the grass, breathing hard. Then they looked at each other and burst out laughing. Wild, shaky laughter, the kind that comes only when you realize you're still alive. Julian coughed, still catching his breath. "You actually saved me." Emile wiped a tear and grinned. "Well, if you died, who would I ride bikes with?" Eventually, reality crept back in. "Wait," Julian said, sitting up. "What if Mom and Dad find out?" "We're so dead," Emile groaned. They dragged themselves home, mud-covered and exhausted. When they told their families what had happened, the adults were first stunned, and then most of the villagers laughed. "Emile? That skinny kid pulled Julian out of a well?" "Come on," said another. "He can barely lift his school bag, let alone his brother." The boys stood there, faces fallen. their hands still red, their clothes still soaked. But no one believed them. No one. Except one man. Monsieur Léon, the village's retired schoolteacher, stepped forward. He was old and wise, with a soft voice, a white mustache, and a look that always seemed to see past what others missed. "I believe them," he said calmly. The crowd quieted. "The question isn't how Emile did it," he continued. "The real question is, why was he able to?" People stared. Monsieur Léon smiled. Because no one was there to tell him he couldn't. No voice saying he was too weak, too young, too small. Not even his own. When there's no one to plant doubt in your mind, you simply act. And sometimes, that's enough. For a moment, the whole village fell silent. A breeze swept through the square. The distant church bell rang. From that day on, the story of Julien and Emile became part of Beaulieu-sur-Riviere's memory, not as a fantasy, but as a reminder. The limits we believe in are often the ones others gave us. But when no one says you can't, you just might find out that you can.